The Trump regime has no shame in its game when it comes to discrimination, whether it's Hispanic people, Asian people, or Black people. But now he has his sights set on Black women. Because, of course, we all know how much Donald Trump loves Black women. Before we get into today's topic, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button and click on the bell so you'll be the first to know when we post. This is Pragmotiv News, and I'm Trey. So, it started way before he took office for the second time. They just kept saying it over and over again, perpetuating the narrative continuously and constantly through their echo chamber of pundits, news anchors, and influencers on podcasts and other social media. What am I talking about? I'm talking about this quote right here. The federal government is ineffective, they said, has a bloated workforce and does not work well. We will streamline it and make it work more efficiently and stop wasting money. We will right size it, whatever the hell that means, and restore merit-based hiring. Y'all remember hearing that again and again? So think back to the first few weeks of this second term and what was going on. The Doge cuts, right? So it may seem random. Every day, another agency was being infiltrated by Doge. There were battles over access to data, remember? The stated reasons were, for the Department of Education, we're fulfilling a promise to abolish it and moving towards government efficiency. For USAID, we're downsizing foreign aid and functions that the president considers outside the core national interests. The IRS, we're reducing government capacity and targeting inefficient spending. And then, last but not least, Social Security. We're rooting out massive fraud. The fraud. But what he was really doing was getting rid of as many Black women as he could. So those agencies, the Department of Education, USAID, the IRS, were not random. He was starting with the agencies with the highest percentage of people of color, and the people he laid off or fired were disproportionately Black employees and specifically Black women, specifically with the Department of Education. He targeted those who had taken DEI training, his big bad word. Black women are the only demographic to experience significant job loss during the period of the first few months of the second Trump administration. In fact, between February and July of 2025, Black women lost, get this, 319,000 jobs, partly because of his cuts and how they targeted federal agencies with high concentration of Black women. So the New York Times is reporting that for generations, the federal government has served as a ladder to the middle class for Black Americans who were shut out of jobs because of discrimination. The federal government has historically offered the population more job stability, pay equity, and career advancement than the private sector. So as of 2024, Black people have been 18.5 to 19% of the federal workforce. They're 14.8% of the United States population. So this is why Trump targeted those jobs, and apparently they're not wanting to leave any evidence of that targeting. So let me get this straight. I got to stop just for 1 minute. When it comes to jobs in the federal government, Trump and his people are worried about the percentages lining up with the population numbers. But when it comes to voting, they want a gerrymander to do just the opposite. And they don't want to leave any evidence to prove what they've done. The Office of Personnel Management has erased publicly available demographic data, but the National Women's Law Center was able to compile and analyze the now deleted data, and that is how we now have a clear picture of the intent and what was done and who it was done to. He has also specifically targeted high-profile leaders of color who were at some of these agencies. His justification, they're incompetent, they're corrupt, they're DEI hires. On January 27, 2025, 1 week into his second term, he fired Gwen Wilcox, the Black female member of the National Labor Relations Board. There's been an ongoing court battle over this, and it's now pending a Supreme Court review. Carla Hayden, the first Black female librarian of Congress, was fired on May 8, 2025. The official explanation was that there were concerns over her pursuit of DEI initiatives and making inappropriate books available for children at the Library of Congress. The problem is, literally all books become a part of the Library of Congress. The latest person that he fired is Lisa Cook. So take a look at this video from CNN.
All right, breaking overnight, in an unprecedented move, President Trump announced he is firing Fed Governor Lisa Cook over allegations of mortgage fraud. This is the first time a president has fired a Fed governor in the central bank's 111-year history. Cook has not been charged with any crime.
So I want y'all to notice, just for a minute, why is it that that's his go-to thing now? With all of his enemies now, it's mortgage fraud. You had Tish James in New York, mortgage fraud. Adam Schiff, mortgage fraud. Now Lisa Cook, mortgage fraud. I mean, come on. Can you be a little bit more creative in the charges that you try to trump up on people? That was a tongue twister, but I just wanted to get that in. He always trumping up shit on people. So, getting back on topic. What do all of the women that I mentioned have in common, y'all? They're all Black. This is no surprise coming from Trump, who has a proven history of discrimination, including him and his father's real estate company, refusing to rent to Blacks, and his full-page ad calling for the execution of the exonerated five, known then as the Central Park Five, who were falsely accused of raping a woman in Central Park. Even after they were exonerated, Trump still insists that they're guilty. If this isn't racism, then what the fuck is? And if you think you can defend these actions as anything other than racism, then you're just as bad as him. So that's it for today, y'all. That's all for now. So like, comment, subscribe, and follow at Pragmotiv News everywhere to stay Pragmotivated. Also remember that you can find us across all of the major platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Audible, and iHeartRadio, so that you can listen to us even when you're out on the go. So head on over there right now and follow us. And if you feel like it, leave us a review. It really helps us out. Until next time, peace.